Did you notice how the headlight wires disconnected on their own when I removed the hood? I'll explain how that happens later in the video. This is a neodymium magnet, 2 millimeters across, 1 millimeter tall. For a long time, I've been using magnets to hold things together, either in early modular assembly or for the final finished part of the build. Back 30 years ago when I built the Studebaker, all I had available were thin refrigerator magnet sheets that I could easily cut small bits out of, but they aren't very strong. Now there are neodymium rare earth magnets, and you can get them in different sizes. They are readily available in a package of 100 or so for about $10. They are tiny, but much stronger than the thin sheets. Because they are so small, they are easy to hide away in a panel, and they are strong enough to remain effective if you paint over them. When looking to purchase high-quality magnets, look for a grade rating. N52 is a stronger grade than N42. One thing magnets are good for is lining things up because they snap back to the same place every time. One common use is latches. When building door jambs, which is my least favorite part of model building, you can have a 2 millimeter magnet as a receiver in a door jamb and another magnet or just a small piece of steel to line it up with on the inside of the door. It will line up in the same place every time and hold itself closed while being easy to open again. If you don't want the magnet to show, you can paint over it and it will still work. When I did the Studebaker hood, I used refrigerator magnets as mounting pads. I used a hole punch to cut out 2 discs that I recessed in the cowl. I put small steel discs as receivers on the hood to connect with the magnets on the cowl. I made a traditional wire hinge out of brass, which works well, but I came up with an idea. Because these magnets always line up, even when you rotate them, I suspected they would have a good pivot point for a hinge. So I made a hinge with a post and 2 magnets glued to the top and bottom of the post, and a magnet glued to each door mounting bracket. I put the door in place, lined it up and held it in position with tape, and then glued the hinge in place on both the body and the door. The door swings open properly, pivots well, and holds its position wherever I put it. And there's the added bonus that the door is easily removable and pops back perfectly into place. I use the same concept for the access panel. I have magnets on the body and a matching set on the panel. I can open it and it holds well, or I can remove it completely to reveal the gas tank and the radiator. Then I can pop it back into the same spot. This is an older Heller kit that has a lot of fiddly panels that are difficult to align. So in the assembly, I use magnets to help line things up and hold them in place before gluing. In building this custom Chrysler New Yorker, in cutting all the body panels, testing, fitting, refitting, trying to align the parts, I used magnets to hold the sub-assemblies together. My plan was, like on the Ferrari 330 P4, to use glue for the final assembly. But what I found was the magnets worked so well there was no need for glue. It just snaps together and no one would realize it's not glued. I'm in the process of building this Lotus. To get the engine in position, I put some magnets on the frame and steel plates on the floor, and that holds the assembly in position. It's always good to pin parts like antennas or mirrors so you can take them off for transport to a show. You might want to consider using magnets instead of pins. On a real car, the headlight wires are attached when you open the hood. I knew I would want to remove the hood for display, but I wanted the realism of headlight wires. So I used 2 tiny pieces of refrigerator magnet to make connectors that connected the wires to the body. Consider magnets a handy addition to your bench. Plus, they are super cool because their function is not necessarily noticeable when the model is on display. Share with us in the comments how you have used magnets, and if not, why not give it a try? Follow your muse wherever you may find it, and may there always be a project on your bench. Thanks for watching.